Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are hale and hearty. Today, we are going to do the first chapter of the textbook Snapshot. The chapter is titled The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, written by William Serron. This story is about two poor Armenian boys who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. Hallmarks means distinctive features. So, this story is about two Armenian boys, and they belong to a tribe whose characteristic feature is trust and honesty. The story it begins in a nostalgic mood where Aram, the narrator, was then a boy of 9 and his cousin Murad was 13. This chapter deals with never say die spirit of the people of Armenia. Let's begin with the reading of the chapter. One day back there in the good old days when I was 9. So here Aram, he is the narrator of this chapter, and he says he is talking about the good old days when he was 9-year-old and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. Magnificence means extremely beautiful. So the world was beautiful and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning. So he came at 4, his cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everyone, and only Aram knew about him. He says that he visited his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up, tapping on the window of my room. Aram, he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. Daybreak. What is daybreak? Dawn. Dawn is early morning without sunrise. So here, narrator, our 9-year-old Aram, he was asleep and was in a world of extremely beautiful imagination. His life was pleasant and kind of in a mysterious dream. His cousin Murad showed up on the window of his room at 4 in the morning. He called Aram, who jumped out of his bed and still couldn't believe what he saw out of the window. It was dawn, and there was light enough outside to make him see outside, what made him believe he wasn't dreaming. Means there was enough light for him to see, though it was dawn. A little darkness was also there, but still enough light was there to see him, and which was unbelievable for him. What he saw. He says, my cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Stuck my head out means pushed out my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, it's a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. So, when he looked out of the window, he saw his brother was sitting on a white horse. Aram rubbed his eyes and stuck out his head out of the window, and Murad assured him it was not a dream. He asked if he wanted to ride, he must make it quick. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. So here Aram wants to say about his brother Murad that he was the type of person who enjoyed being alive, who enjoyed being lively, but he couldn't believe that he was seeing a horse in front of him. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longing had been longings to ride. This was the wonderful part. Longing means an aching desire, a strong desire. When you long for something, when you want something very badly, that is longing. Okay, so Aram's earliest memory was of horses. He always thought of them and he always wanted to ride one. And this was the wonderful part that he was actually going to ride a horse for real. Then he says that in the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. So he says that, it was wonderful thing for him to ride a horse in real. It was his dream to ride. But in the second place, he thought that his family was poor and they had no money. So it was very difficult for him to believe in what he saw outside his house. We were poor, we had no money. So here he says that he was poor and he had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken, and their whole tribe, it was it poverty stricken. Poverty stricken means badly affected by lack of money. Every branch of the Garoglanian family. Garoglanian is an Armenian tribe. Garoglanian family here means an Armenian tribe. So he says that every branch of the Garoglanian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Means he belonged to this Garoglanian family and it was strictly and funnily in poverty. Why he is saying that they were amazing and living in a comical poverty in the world? Because he says that nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old men of the family. Bellies mean stomach. So he says that they didn't even know how they managed to get food for themselves every day. Even the senior member of the family didn't know that from where the food was coming. Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty. These people, they were famous for their honesty. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries. So these people, they are known for their honesty for the past 11 centuries. Even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world, we were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. So here Aram, he says that he belonged to Garoglanian family which is known for honesty for 11 centuries, and they were honest, proud, and always believed in right and wrong, and no one from their family would ever steal anything or would take advantage of anyone in the world. So he belonged to such family. Consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, means beautiful, attractive, even though I could smell it so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad or with me or with any of the other members of a family, asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if the he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it, and I refused to believe he had stolen it. So Aram, he was excited on seeing a horse that was so pleasant and beautiful. He could smell it and hear it breathing, but still couldn't believe that Murad or anyone in the family could afford a horse. He was thinking if Murad had stolen the horse, but he didn't believe it, as he thought no one in his family could be a thief. So as we read in the beginning of the chapter, that these people, they were known for their honesty, they were known for their trust. So it was, I mean, they couldn't believe that Murad could steal horse, or he must have stolen it. So Aram did not believe that thing. But he says that no member of the family, Garoglanian family, could be a thief. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. There was a pious means religious, or you can say sacred, pure. There was pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me. Delighted me means made me happy, and on the other frightened me, and on the other hand it also frightened him. So here he says that when he looked at his cousin, when he stared at his cousin and then at the horse, he found that there was religious motionlessness and wittiness in both Murad and the horse, as one charmed him and the other was pious, or other frightened him, other scared him. Now coming to the next, Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? He said that leap out of the window if you want to ride. So when Aram asked Murad if he had stolen the horse, Murad simply replied that if you want a ride, then you jump out of the window. It was true then. It was true then he had stolen the horse. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not as I chose. So Aram was convinced when Murad did not give answer to his question that the horse was stolen by Murad. He came to visit him to ask him to ride it with him. Adam tried to convince himself that it was not the same as stealing money. So we will read it in the next line that, well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. Yes, here we are. It seemed stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. Means he wants to, Adam was trying to convince himself that it was not the same thing as stealing money, as both of them were crazy about riding a horse. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all. If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it wasn't stealing. It wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse. So he is giving the explanation. He is trying to convince himself by saying that Murad has not stolen the horse, and stealing is considered when you offer to sell the thing for money, and which of course they were not doing. So he says, which of course I knew we would never do. Let me put on some clothes, I said. All right, he said, but hurry. I leaped into my clothes. I leaped into my clothes. Leaped into means he uh, pushed himself into the clothes. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. Leap means jump. So Aram was so much crazy about the horse, and he said that he will wear some clothes and then he will go outside. He jumped down to his yard from his room's window and sat on the horse behind his cousin. That year, we lived at the edge of town on Walnut Avenue. Behind our houses was the country vineyards, orchards, irrigation ditches, and country roads. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, and then the horse began to trot. So, at that time, in at that year, Aram lived at the edge of the town on Avenue. Edge means the border. Further, he says that behind our house was the country. Country means village. And what it had? Vineyards. Vineyards, the plantation of grapevines used in wine making. So that was vineyard. Orchards, it's a piece of land of the plantation of fruits. Okay. Next is irrigation ditches. Irrigation ditches means man-made channel used to deliver water to homes, industries and other uses and country roads. So Aram said that he lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue, and there were orchards, there were vineyards, irrigation ditches and country roads behind his house. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue. Means they were on Olive Avenue within 3 minutes, and the horse started to proceed. Trot means to proceed. The air was new and lovely to breathe. The feel of the horse running was wonderful. My cousin Murad, who was considered one of the craziest members of our family, began to sing. I mean, he began to roar. So he says that he was the craziest member of their family. And what was the name of their family? Yes, the Garoglanian family. And he began to roar. Roar means shout loudly. Every family has a crazy streak. Streak means unpleasant part of character. So here Aram is trying to tell us that even their family, it also had some crazy streak. So every family has a crazy streak in it somewhere. And my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant. Descendant means an inheritor, natural descendant of the crazy streak in our tribe. Before him was our uncle Khusro, an enormous man with a powerful head of black hair and largest mustache in the San Joaquin Valley. San Joaquin Valley is one of the long interior valleys of California, and uncle was furious in temper, irritable, impatient. Mark this paragraph. It is telling us all about Uncle Khusro, how his temper was, what qualities he had. So mark it. It is very important. A question may be asked about him, then you will have to write all this thing. So he was impatient, that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring. And what was his pet statement? That it has no harm, pay no attention to it. So Aram was talking about the crazy streak, and Murad had inherited it. And before him, there was one crazy person in the family. His name was Uncle Khusro. He was the huge man with black hair and largest mustache in the valley. He had an energetic temper and was impatient, which was irritating. He used to make anyone stop talking by roaring and say, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." That was all, no matter what anybody happened to be talking about. So, Uncle Khusro was always this rigid, no matter who happened to be talking about in front of him. He always asked the other person, he always made the other person to stop from talking by roaring. Once it was his own son Arak. So now he is sharing one anecdote about Uncle Khusro, and he's talking about his son Arak running 8 blocks to the barber's shop where his father was having his mustache trimmed to tell him their house was on fire. This man, Khusro, sat up in the chair and roared, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." Isn't it funny that he is saying this when his child is telling him, he came running 8 blocks to him just to tell him that their house is on fire, and what Uncle Khusro is saying that it is no harm, pay no attention to it, छोड़ो उसको, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. The barber said, but the boy says, "Your house is on fire." And so Khusro roared, "Enough! It is no harm, I say." So when even Barber told him that the child is talking about your house is on fire, and still he said as usual that no, pay no attention to it. So this shows that how crazy he was, and the same crazy streak Murad has inherited. My cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of this man. So he says that Murad was considered to be the natural inheritor of this man, but Murad was not his son. Although Murad's father was Zorab. So the name of Murad's father was Zorab. He was not son of Uncle Khusro, but he carried that crazy streak, who was practical and nothing less. So he says that his father was Zorab and he was a practical person. That's how it was in our tribe. A man could be the father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. Dear children, this line is important. Please mark it, that a man could be father of his son's flesh, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. Means a child could look like his father, but doesn't mean he gets his nature and attitude just the same. In fact, all of you have observed it, means father has different personality and his son has different personality, though son resembles his father. So that is why what he is saying, that a child can look like his father, but that doesn't mean that he will be getting his nature or the same attitude he would be getting from his parents. The distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. Capricious means inconsistent change of mood, and vagrant means a person without a settled home or work, or simply we can say wandering about aimlessly. So Aram wants to say here that there are different kinds of people in his tribe, and how are they? They are moody and they are without any settled work or home. They move here and there aimlessly. We rode, you mark these words and note down their word meanings, okay? Now let us continue. We rode and my cousin Murad sang. For all anybody knew, we were still in the old country, where at least According to some of her neighbors, we belonged. We let the horse run as long as it felt running. So here they were still riding the horse, and Murad was still singing loudly, and they were still in the countryside where, according to their neighbors, they belonged to. So the people in the neighborhood, to them, these people belonged to that area, and he says that we had let the horse run as long as it felt like running. Now, at last, my cousin Murad said, "Get down, I want to ride alone." So now he asked his cousin to get down because he wanted to enjoy a he wanted to ride alone. "Will you let me ride alone?" I asked. "That is up to the horse," my cousin said. "Get down. The horse will let me ride," I said. "We shall see," he said. "Don't forget that I have a way with the horse." So here, Murad, when asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone, Aram also asked him if he could ride the horse alone. Murad said that it is up to the horse. It is horse's wish if he wants to ride you along, and asked him to get Murad down again. Aram tried to convince him that the horse would let him ride, to which Murad said that we shall see, and told Aram that he had a way with horse. He had a way with horse. Have a way with a horse. It means he has a particular talent for dealing with horses. Murad had a particular talent for dealing with the horses. He had a special ability to deal with them. So that is why he said that I have a way with them. Well, I said, anyway, you have with the horse, I have also. When he told him that yes, he has the talent of dealing with it, Aram also told him that he had it too. "For the sake of your safety," he said, "let us hope so." Then he again asked him to get down. "All right," I said, "but remember, you have got to let me try to ride alone." So again, when he told him to get down, and he said, Murad said that it is for his own safety, and we both wish for. Aram got down while telling him that he will ride the horse alone. Now I got down, and my cousin Murad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, "Wazire." Wazire here is the name of the horse. So he said, "Wazire, run." The horse stood on its hind legs. He snorted and burst into fury of speed. That was the loveliest thing I had ever seen. My cousin Murad raced the horse across a field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch, crossed the ditch on the horse, and 5 minutes later returned dripping wet. So here we know that when Aram got down, Murad, he kicked his heels in the horse and shouted, calling out his name, Wazire, and asked him to run. The horse, it stood on its hind legs. It snorted. Snorted means it breathed out and ran into a speed. Murad, he raced the horse. Raced means made it run. Just a minute. Yes. So, made it run, raced the horse across a field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch, crossed the ditch on the horse, and 5 minutes later he returned dripping wet, means he was sweating profusely. So Murad raced the horse across the field of dry grass and irrigation ditches, and when he arrived after 5 minutes, he and the horse, both of them were in sweat. They were sweating profusely, they were perspiring. Now the sun was coming up. Now it's my turn to ride, I said. My cousin Murad got off the horse. Ride, he said. I leaped to the back of the horse and for a moment knew the most awful means terrible, fear, imaginable. The horse did not move. Kick into his muscles, my cousin Murad said. What are you waiting for? We have got to take him back, for everybody in the world is up and about. So here he says that why are you not kicking him? When he got off and he allowed Aram to sit on the horse, Aram was fearful and the horse did not move. Then Murad tried to guide him by saying that he should try to kick into his muscles, and also told him that he should hurry because they need to take the horse back before everyone woke up. I kicked into the muscles of the horse. Once again it reared and snorted. Then it began to run. I didn't know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Dickon Halabian. Mark this, vineyard of Dickon Halabian, where it began to leap over vines. So when Aram kicked into the muscles of the horse, to which the horse again raised and breathed out. Reared means raised. Reared and snorted means breath out. The horse began to run and Aram didn't know what to do next. And the horse, it started going towards the road that led to vineyard of Dickon Halabian. The horse leaped over 7 vines before I fell. Then it continued running. So he said that it began to move over vines and Aram, he fell down, but the horse continued to run. And my cousin Murad came running down the road. I'm not worried about you, he shouted. We have got to get that horse. You go this way and I'll go this way. If you come upon him, be kindly, I will be near. So when Aram fell down from the horse continued to run, and Murad, he came running down the road towards Aram and told him that he's not worried about his injury or he's not worried about him, but they need to find the horse, and they both went different ways to find him. Murad instructed Aram to be kind if he saw him anywhere. I continued down the road and my cousin Murad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. All right, he said, jump on. The whole world is awake now. What will we do? I said. Well, he said, we will either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning. He didn't sound worried, and I knew he would hide him and not take him back, not for a while at any rate. So Aram, he looked for the horse down the road, and Murad went towards the irrigation ditch. And Murad came back after 30 minutes with the horse. Then he told Aram to jump over, as the whole world was awake by then. Means it was light, it was morning, and everybody had woke up. Aram had asked what are they going to do now, to which Murad told him about 2 options. What are those 2 options? Either to take the horse back or hide him until tomorrow. And Murad was not worried, and Aram knew that Murad would hide him somewhere and not take him back for a while. Aram asked him where Murad would hide him. So he asked him, "Where will we hide him?" I said. "I know a place," he said. "How long ago did you steal this horse?" I said. It suddenly dawned on me that he had been taking these early morning rides for some time and had come for me this morning only because he knew how much I longed to ride. So it suddenly dawned. Dawn means appeared. It occurred to him. He understood that his brother, he had been taking these early morning rides for some time, and he came to him that morning because he knew even Aram liked to ride. So, when Aram asked him where he is going to hide the horse, he said that he knew a place that was perfect as a hidden spot, and that made Aram asked him that when he stole the horse, and it appeared to him that Murad had been taking the horse for morning rides for quite some time, and he came to Aram that morning only to ask him for a ride because he knew that he also had a strong desire to ride on a horse. Then Murad says, "Who said anything about stealing a horse?" He said. Anyhow, I said, "How long ago did you begin riding every morning?" So Murad, he shuts Aram down by asking a counter question about who talks about stealing a horse. Now Aram, he tried to change the question by asking him since how long was he riding the horse every morning. Let's turn the page. He says, "Not until this morning," he said. "Are you telling the truth?" I said. So when he asked him, Murad told him that that morning only was the first time. Aram was not convinced and asked him if he was telling the truth. "Of course not," he said. "But if we are found out, that's what you are to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. All you know is that we started riding this morning." This line is very important. I don't want both of us to be liars. So when Murad said that only this morning is the first time, and Aram was not convinced with him and asked him that if he was telling the truth, Murad said, "Of course not, but if anyone asked Aram, he should say that it was true." And he further added that he didn't want them to be liars, but they had to say only this. Means he didn't want that both of them to be liars because for Aram that was the first time he was riding it. So if anyone asked him, he is going to give this answer. "All right," I said. He walked the horse quietly to the barn of a deserted vineyard. Barn is a place where grain is stored. Of a deserted means abundant, abundant or wild vineyard, which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fatwajian. So they quietly took the horse to the barn of a deserted vineyard which belonged to the farmer named Fatwajian, and there were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. Alfalfa is a flowering plant, and oats you all know. And after hiding the horse in that vineyard, they both began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. So Murad, he said, when they were walking home, that it was not easy to get the horse to behave nicely. Why? Because at first it wanted to run wild, but as I have told you, I have a way with the horse. I can get it to want to do anything I want it to do. Horse Horses understands me. See this confidence, see this line. The Murad having so much confidence that he understands horses. He has a talent of dealing with them, and even horses understood him. So that's all for today. We will continue the lecture tomorrow. Please do read it, write down all the word meanings, and if you do not understand anything, ask me in the group. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.